Hi, I'm Wrong.
And I'm Wrong.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hey everyone, welcome to Ask Rob and Rob, where, unfortunately, we got something a bit wrong last week. So we've taken that episode down. This will all make a lot more sense when you get to our second question. But question one, don't worry, that's all good, solid advice. But question two, find out what we got a bit wrong.
But before we get to those, Rob, if someone's got a burning question of their own, how do they send that our way?
The number you want to call is 013 808 00035, or you can go to thepropertyhub.net/ask and get your questions into us that way. Super simple to do. And once again, our lovely hubbers have delivered some great questions. First up, we've got a new listener who's left a question, and normally we give people who forget to leave their name a silly name, but we won't be too harsh as you knew. So thank you, Jezebel.
Hello, I only found out your program this week and I have been listening. It's fantastic. I just wish I knew it earlier. Thank you so much. I have a question about my own situation. Currently, I own the rental house, which is worth about 150K, and with a 50K mortgage still there. And it's generating good rental income for me. And then I'm living in a mortgage-free home myself with my son. It's probably with a value at about 110K. And I also got some cash, which is about 100K. It sounds all very good, and I want to make my property investment work. However, I have a dilemma, is I want to move to a good catchment for my son. And I anticipate it will cost me about 250K to 300K to move to a good location. But I really want to do my property investment, and I wonder what you would do in my case. And I often hear people say you can invest even without any capital. Then how do I do that? How do I seek for alternative capital so I can make this work? I really want to make both sides of my goals happen. I want to move to good catchment, and I want to start doing my business investment.
Okay, strange name, but really good question. And it's going to take us into some interesting territory, I think. So you say that you often hear people say that you can invest without any capital. And that's true. You do often hear that. I hear it all the time as well. But that doesn't make it true. You cannot invest without any capital. The definition of investing is taking capital and doing something with it to produce an income or to generate more capital. Therefore, investing without capital is literally impossible. There are two things that people normally mean when they talk about doing that. They either mean a strategy like rent to rent, which is not strictly investing. There's nothing particularly wrong with it if it suits you, but it is effectively doing work and getting income for it. You're not putting money to work for you. The other thing that people mean is using somebody else's capital. So that's still not without it. It just means putting somebody else's money to work in the form of a joint venture. So rest assured, there is no secret that you're missing out on. There's not some magical strategy that you're not aware of that everyone else is cleaning up with. It's mostly just marketing trying to sell you something. So now I've dispatched that myth and possibly crushed your dreams a little bit. Let's get into the detail of the question. And Rob, is it possible for Jezebel to achieve both of her goals of moving house and investing as well?
Well, we'll try our best, because we could give you an alternative way of thinking. For example, you want to move into this catchment area. You may think you are going to like it. And you know what? You probably will. But a safe way to start is to rent in that area, which would still get you into the catchment area that you want to be within. And then it takes time pressure off you to be able to decide whether this is the right move or not. And if it is the right move, it gives you more time to find that property that you really want. If you do that, then you can use the capital that you've got, go and invest it, and hopefully produce even more capital, which then could be reallocated at a later date into your dream location and home. Unfortunately, it's not a case of doing both. If you need to put 250k cash into this, and that is the majority of the cash that you've got, then it's not going to work. But if you can get into your area by renting, invest those funds wisely during that period, and take some or all of it out at a later date, then yes, it's possible. And also it could come down to how much you want it, how much you want to own a property in this area versus how much you want to be an investor. As we said, you can live in the area by renting. If it's just living there, then don't invest. But only you will know. So while that doesn't give you the dream answer I'm sure you were hoping for, it gives you some good solid advice. And a further piece of good solid advice is that if you are new to property and you're now getting your education, be careful of the people who promise the big things like being able to invest with no money, because they're the ones normally selling expensive courses.
Okay, let's move on to our ill-fated second question. This one came in from Andrew. And Andrew, fair play to you, because this is the first question on Ask Rob and Rob that's ever had us completely stumped. Let's have a listen to the question.
Hey, Rob. Andrew here from Cornwall. I love this show, and I've got a question for you I don't think you've answered yet. I've been looking at a property. It's a probate sale. Needs a lot of work done to it. I think the vendors are quite keen to get it sold. I've been speaking to the agents, and they said they've had a few offers on it, some that the sellers are seriously considering. However, they're refusing to tell me what these other offers are. They're telling me that they're not allowed to tell me. But is that true? It seems to me that they should be able to tell me what the offers are, because then I can beat it. I understand that they might want to keep it quiet, so in the hope that I put a higher offer in, but can't I just put a low ball offer in and then just come up 10,000 each time until I find out what the other offer is? It seems a bit of a waste of time and a bit redundant. Cheers, thanks.
So, Rob, last week on an episode that some people may still have in their feeds, but we've quickly took down after we realised the error of our ways, we said that there was no reason why the estate agent shouldn't tell you the other offers. And actually, the estate agent was just telling fibs. And we all laughed at estate agents and said how crooked they are. Well, this is a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Because it turns out we were wrong.
Yeah, we were completely wrong. And so we need to thank Nick Stott from Homeshore in Liverpool, one of the good guys. Let's see, there are good estate agents out there. Super nice guy and nice enough to get in touch and spare our blushes by telling us that we are absolutely wrong. I had no idea about this, but if you read Section 9 of the Property Ombudsman's Code of Conduct for Estate Agents, which clearly we both have, Rob, but must have just slipped our minds temporarily, it says that before disclosing the amount of an offer, you must advise the seller of such intention and get the seller's agreement, and you must warn all buyers who make offers that it is your practice to do so.
So in plain English, Rob, what does that mean?
So basically that means is the default position is that you shouldn't disclose offers. And if you do want to disclose offers, you have to get the seller's permission to do so. Now, I'm absolutely certain that I've dealt with agents before who have not done this, because I've definitely had people tell me what the offer to beat is, and maybe that's a real offer and maybe it isn't. So you're getting into slagging off estate agents again now, even though it was us that was wrong. But that is the letter of the law. So in Andrew's case, it seems like the estate agent was telling the complete truth.
In our defence, Rob, I think Section 10 of the Property Ombudsman Code is really exciting, so we probably just skipped ahead.
That'll be it, yeah.
Oh well, thank you, Nick from Homeshore, for putting us on the straight and narrow. And yep, everyone, we get things wrong too, but that's okay, because we'll quickly tell you when we are wrong. And we've literally all learned something new this week. So thank you to Nick. Thank you to everybody who continues to contribute to the show and put their questions in. If you'd like to get your question in, remember it's super easy. Get involved. We'd love to try and answer your question correctly in the future. So we've got the main event, the Property Podcast on Thursday, and of course we'll be back with Ask Rob and Rob, hopefully this time not wrong, on Tuesday. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.